Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. On this illustrious Monday morning. Mad Money with OG. OG Big Sam in the building, aka Mr. Dirty Lee, aka Mr. White. The network is on. Gonna get at you all, what I'm saying, a few things. Gonna react to Warren Sapp's comments about Trap Hunter. Um, we're gonna talk about, you know, Justin Fields staying and going, Russell Wilson staying and going, maybe already settled. Uh, just a few things, just a few things to start your week off. This illustrious Monday morning. Um, you know, it is just some opening thoughts. The going consensus that guys that played the game, no matter what the sport is, you know what I'm saying. Guys that played the game, uh, in some cases, have been, you know, dismissed from being knowledgeable of said sports. And we as fans, some of us get inside our feelings and 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 you know talk, and trying to, you know, too busy trying to be right, um, and not displaying the ethical fortitude and understanding, you know, the league that you're talking about. Guys that played these games, that played basketball, that played uh, football, that played baseball, know more about the game than quote unquote fans, you know, that believe they know more than the people that actually played the game, you know. And, when we as such as people as myself, as a podcaster, for being part of a podcasting team, for being part of a group, a conglomerate, a force of information, you know, and we say things like get out your feelings. Well, you've heard the notion. You take your, you know, emotions out of something and use your brain. That's what that means. That's what that means. Yo out there that be talking about, you know, the if cause somebody disagree with you, how you gonna tell you get 99.9% of the time when that phrase is said to you, it's because you are in your feelings. And people when they're diagnosing or observing or giving a perspective on a sporting event, especially when it concerns maybe somebody as a player that they favor or a team that they favor. You're gonna be a lot of, things said, you know, while they're in their feelings. And most of that be coming from your feelings because it's your team, it's your homie, or it's somebody that you idolize. You can't have a dialogue with someone and you're at the top of your lungs in your feelings. So when we say get out your feelings, it means take your emotions out of it and use common sense. Use your brain. That's what that means. And if you're taking offense to that particular quote, then obviously you in your feelings, you know. But that is what it is on that particular note. Um, on I think, a couple of days ago, uh, 2 days ago, Warren Sapp doing an interview and said some things about Trap China, all positive. Um, and I'm kind of on the cosign train myself. because you know you got a lot of folks out here talking this noise about what Travis Hunter's not going to be able to do on the field. And to be quite honest, yeah, we've seen the the Deion Sanders, the Charles Woodson, the Champ Bailey of the world, you know, come down the pike and you know play play this game of football in the NFL at a high level. And we've heard Deion Sanders compare this young man to himself. It said age in a time at a formidable point in time in their you know careers going forward. Um, we had Warren Sapp to uh, come down the same road. A lot of people, are just when you have a formidable talent, when you have a generational talent, and I'm gonna call it for what it is. Some may believe it, some may don't. You have your opinion. Um, a lot of y'all are basing y'all opinions about stuff concerning this young man uh, off the field, which has nothing to do with what he does on the field. Um, he eat, sleep, breathe, drink football. Um, and to dismiss his talent and to say that he won't be able to, or the league is not going to let, the league probably ain't going to have no other choice. It's just how talented that this young man is. You know, um, he's shown, he's proven, then from the moment he stepped on the field at Jackson State to following Prime to Colorado, and the the performance did not change. You have some people out here, what I'm saying, you know, well, I seen him get burnt by this cat, or I see he make this catch on him. Hey, you can name me a cornerback that has never been had a pass caught on them. You know what I'm saying? I empty the U.S. Mint Bank right in your lap right now. I need to stop this trying to come up with ways to dismiss somebody's talent or dismiss a person, uh, or trying to use a single moment. You know what I mean? There ain't a defensive back walking that ain't never got beaten on a pass. So let's just stop this when it comes to Travis Hunter. Well, I see that this happening. Okay, every cornerback, every safety, every strong safety, every free safety, every nickelback, every dimeback has gotten beaten at some point in time in their life on the football field. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. To hear the words, and when and each time this young man has been described or given the synopsis of his talent, it all the same uh, words are being used. He craves knowledge. He craves the game. He's addicted to the game, and he plays it that way. Y'all out here trying to, he ain't gonna be able to. That's not possible, bro. Y'all just because maybe you weren't able to do it, that don't mean that this man that has done this since PV league, okay, I mean, and it's showing it's some the catches that he's made, the defensive plays that he's made. I mean, when they was at Jackson State, well, they get to Division One, they get to Colorado, and the play don't change. How many times when y'all gonna stop moving the goalpost? He's a ball hawk on extreme levels, offensively and defensively. And you'll be doing yourself as a franchise to try to bottleneck this kid into one position when he plays multiple. He can play the X, the Y, and the Z at receiver. He can give you an end around. He can play cornerback one, cornerback two, and some safety. He can get inside in the nickel. He can get inside at the slot and be on the slot receiver. And he has the speed. But yet, which and Prime himself has said it. You all know why a lot of you all are doing it because of Dion. Because of y'all hating this thing for Dion. That's all this is. Because that has nothing to do with his abilities. Because if it was all about his abilities, a lot of y'all wouldn't be throwing shade on this young man about what he will and won't do on the field when he's proven it to you for the last 4 years what he can and will do on the field. You know, it's just keeping it a book, man. But of course, top of the morning to you. You know, it just it's crazy to me. You know, um, when we have immense talents to come down the pipe, you know, to get on the elite pro level, which we will be seeing on next season. I mean, I already know how it's gonna go. You know, what I mean, the first time he drops a pass, or the first time a receiver gets an up on him, oh, see, told you what all that. All I'm gonna say is, when it comes to this young man, I'll keep the same energy. When he starts to make these very same plays he's made over these 4 years in college, when he started to make these very same plays at the NFL level, y'all keep the same energy. Keep the same shade energy you had. Because whether you want to believe it or concede it or not, Travis Hunter is a generational talent. He is an NFL athlete. And we can't pigeonhole him as he's a cornerback, or he's going to be a receiver. He's a generational NFL athlete. He's an exceptional defensive player. He's an exceptional receiver. And that's just the truth in the bone of the matter. No matter how y'all try to shade it, how y'all try to dismiss it, you can't. It's video documented evidence. Okay, he has what 4 or 5 plays just in this year alone were considered top plays in the NCAA this past year. I'm just saying, he has some picks that are NFL level. He has some catches as a receiver that are NFL level. And we keep having, guys that played the game, you know, for but for the most part, that are telling you all what they're seeing. Deion Sanders, who very well may be, you know, the best to ever play the game, is telling you, okay, this kid was better than me when I was that age. At that point, he's far ahead, and we know that Prime has an eye for talent. He has an eye for player, for player. You know, when you have the eye, the talent, the time to notice what a football player looks like, what a football player plays like. You know what I'm saying? When you've done that at the highest of the highest levels yourself, you know, then we got some of these shade throwers out here sitting behind the desk. Well, there's no way he's going to be able to play these kind of snaps at pro level. How would you know? Was you a two-way player? No, you played quarterback. No, you played running back. This young man plays two of the most skilled positions on the field: receiver and defensive back. Okay, um, this, we so we why are we so quick to throw shade when the talent is right there in front of you? Oh, I forgot. He's the product of, what I'm saying, prime time DL Sanders. You know. Hey, Auntie, Jerome 6'9", what's happening? What's happening? You know, it's crazy to me. Georgia Texas boy, what's good? What's good? You know what I mean? Um, it's crazy, man. We watched from Jackson State to Colorado. This young man make play after play after play after play after play. At Jackson State, it was he ain't doing that against D1 power school players. Okay, all right. Just Colorado, uh, and nothing changed. So much so you had and I'm still looking for the NCAA to own up to this. Okay, because the hate was so bad. You had these coaches out here turning a blind eye to cheap shots. This young man literally got hit 3 yards out of bounds, and that school was not reprimanded. That player that made the hit was not reprimanded or fined or anything. The agenda is in. We all know why that is. 95% of the coaches and athletic directors hate Deion Sanders. Yeah, and it's no secret. It's no secret. Let's see. Corey says he didn't get to see much Colorado last season, but playing both sides for years, he's definitely a first round. Yes, yes. You want to talk about the epitome of best player available? I mean, one or two of these top five teams in this draft. Just I mean, which I don't think Tennessee is going to let him get off the board after them. I mean, because they've hitched their wagon to Will Levis, so they're not going to be searching for a quarterback, as far as we know. I mean, the coaching, was a coaching change. Um, there's not too much coming out of as to what Aaron Glenn is going to be doing over there in Tennessee, but I mean, we may see we may see Travis Hunter come off the board first. And I don't see Cleveland picking them because they're in quarterback purgatory, so they definitely will probably be taking a quarterback. Um, the Raiders, I think, would definitely be taking a quarter. definitely be taking a quarterback, even though they're probably about to sign one because I believe Russell Wilson will be going to Vegas. And we'll get to that, you know what I'm saying, a little bit later on. Let's see. Uh, OG, we're spoiled here in the state of Georgia. We seen Dion do it with the Falcons, and Champ Bailey did it at Georgia. Both of them have coached or tutored Travis. He gonna be yes, 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 yes. All of that, yes, yeah. This, and this young man. When the phrase drinking the Kool Aid, this young man is drinking the Kool Aid on the sport of football. He is immersed in it. He is obsessed with it. He's addicted to it. It's all he he works out 3, 4 times a day. Okay, in between those 3, 4 times a day, he's doing film work. You know, I mean, it you got to understand this young man's work ethic, work ethic that has been put on display by many different people in their adulation and admiration and describing him. You know, um, from his overall play, from defensive back to receiver, he plays both at a high level. Like the more plays he plays, the better he gets in the game. You know, but just my whole thing is that just and when I saw Warren Sapp and his attention to showing and saying, what he said about this young man and having him in meetings and and he, writing the notes, taking the screenshots, looking for formations and things of this nature. He's a gridiron rat, man. That's the best way you could describe Travis Hunter. He's a gridiron rat. He would scavenge up all the info, all the technique, all the tendencies, you know, and lock it in, lock it down, and put it out there on the field. And we're too busy out here wanting to say what he ain't gonna be able to do. We're too busy out here talking, putting them down, uh, and 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 and, and not looking at him for what he is. And which I think is, for the most part, that's what bothers most people about him. Because when you look at him on his face value, he is he is a generational talent, and I think he's gonna prove it without a shadow of a doubt. I think he will. You know, of course, he's the one offensive player I wouldn't mind them picking in the first. Well, you Travis is not going to make it past pick 5. He won't even make it past pick 3, to be honest. Um, just keeping it, uh, you know what I'm saying, straight like that. Uh, and yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't. And I think and feel this you know the same way. I don't think he has to, but I think just because he's such a gridiron rat like that, that he will. That that's I think he will. He doesn't have to. There's enough film on him between Jackson State and Colorado on both sides of the ball that there's just something, that would be working out the combine is just something that he won't have to do, but I think he's gonna do it simply because he's a gridiron rat. You know, it, I, I think he'll go through the process, what I'm saying, just because it is the process. He's immersed in this game of football and everything about it. And I think that the only way that he won't will probably be on some advice if Prime advises him not to. I think that may be the only way, only reason that he won't. You know what I'm saying? Especially if Prime looking out for his best interest, he has the inside scoop, and if they have the information where if this is going down, so you ain't really got to do all that deal. You know how things work leading up to the draft. You know, it would be a dream. It would be nice, but uh, no, no, because we need more picks. You know what I'm saying? We need more picks. There are gonna be some moves made, but it ain't gonna have nothing to do with us moving up. You know, um, I don't see us using that 15th pick at all, other than to trade out of that spot and double up on the second and third, maybe fourth round picks. Uh, pick up, what I'm saying, 3 or 4 extra picks in this draft because we need bodies. Um, because you know, I think there are going to be some internal moves that a lot of people are not going to be happy about. But from with the cap numbers coming out, we're definitely going to have to make a move or two to clear up some money. We're going to have to make a restructure or two to move some money. Um, but as far as trading up, it's gonna cost too much to move from 15 to 5 because you're gonna have to go inside the top 5 to get him, and it's gonna cost us too much to get up to either one of those. It, Tennessee is definitely not traded out of that number one spot. If they do, it'll be a shock. Um, Again, it depends on what the new regime over there in Tennessee is. If it with the if the if they are gap strapped with, what I'm saying, Will Levis. I mean, understand now, you know, if ownership done told the coach, okay, this is your quarterback, this is what you're gonna work. We're not moving on. We're not getting another. We're not drafting another. We have and then Tennessee does have other issues. They need to do work on their line. They got some defensive issues as well. They might be finna lose some guys. So um, yeah, there's a situation where they, I mean, it's kind of a sort of a wild card because them having a new coach. Now, is he going to be force fed Will Levis, or is he coming in and is going to be able to, go and get his guy, whoever that may be, whether it be a free agent, you know what I'm saying, or you know, one of these picks in the draft. You Rumor has it Tennessee is high on Cam Ward. You know, uh, you know, just saying, rumor has it. Let's see. Who do y'all see us taking? Well, a lot of that to me is, I think really going to depend on. what happens with Drew Dalman. That's what's gonna tell it. Um, but then again, now that I rethink it, honestly, I think we're gonna trade out of that 15 pick regardless, and I think we're gonna load up on our talent from the second, third, and fourth round. Um, yeah, we will be, shoring up the linebacker room. Yeah, we will be, going after some defensive backs, which includes safeties as well. Um, I remember we got Trice coming back from injury. What I'm saying, yeah, that pick from last season. We got Helens who finally made some progress and come back as well, which I think is another reason why we'll be picking a safety, um, just to be sure up. You know what I'm saying on that spot. As much as Justin Simmons is campaigning to stay, I doubt that it happens. Um, but yeah, Travis Hunter, he's gonna be a top 5 pick, and us moving up that it's gonna be too expensive. It's gonna be too expensive. If we don't have the insurance policies, you know what I'm saying, to move up that high from 15 to inside top 5. Yeah, you talking about uh 2 number one, a couple of number two, maybe even a fourth round. So we talking about a boatload of picks, a boatload of capital having to being given up to move up inside the top 5. No, no, I don't see us doing that, and I also don't see him falling in the draft. And even if he does, maybe 1 or 2 spots, but you won't see Travis Hunter after pick 5. I stake a guarantee on that. You won't see him after pick 5. Just not. Um, Now, you want to talk about some debauchery as far as, what I'm saying, this top 5 selections going on. If you hear the Cleveland Browns uh, 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 pick Shadur, uh, watch for some John Elway, Eli Manning type shit to happen. There will be a veto, a boycott. I don't see the Sanders clan uh, acknowledging, obliging that to happen. Shadur to Cleveland, I, that won't happen. That it won't. It won't. It won't. It won't. What if they say traders Kirk and Algier? Would you trade for a top 5 pick? And see, now you just now you getting madness. Nah, no. I mean, it's gonna take more than that. It's gonna take more than that. And then look, everybody else saw what we saw here with Kurt. You know, before, during the season, uh, and especially after the season. Um, Everybody saw the same thing we saw. I don't think it's gonna be as easy as a lot of people are saying or wishing it to be to move Kurt. Um, I think Kirk Cousins ostracized himself because guys talk. Um, players talk. You know, players, players around the league, they talk with each other. You know what I'm saying? Eh, and a lot of folks, um, they commune with each other and talk about certain things. You know, um, so I don't. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be relatively very, very hard for us to move Kirk. I think. I think we. I think. I think we're gonna mess around and end up with Kirk for another season. You know. Nope. Nope. No Malik. Nope. Mm-mm. You know. I mean, but hey, right now we're in a hurry up and wait type of situation. Um, with this, uh, you know, kind of holding over. Um, it's sort of like the Steelers quarterback situation in reverse. But speaking of which, if you're listening to any of the rhetoric that's coming out of Pittsburgh, you would probably be assuming the same thing I'm assuming. Um, I think Russ is out in Pittsburgh. I think Russ may be on his way to Las Vegas. Um, and because with Arthur Smith over here singing his love song about Justin Fields, I think I think that situation is probably already etched in stone. And when they're able to make stuff official, I think it'll be a foregone conclusion that Justin Fields be the starting quarterback for the Steelers on next year. Um, and I think Russell will be moving on. Because I said it last year when Russ came back, when he got cleared to play, um, that that was a Mike Tomlin call. And if you listen to Arthur Smith on day before yesterday, um, you singing his love song about Justin Fields. You know, I'm just like, yeah, okay. I think this situation has already been dealt with. He's talking about the man's behavior and not having any problems with him, and him being, very attentive in meetings, showing up early for practice and staying late and all that. I'm like, okay, that's your guy. That's your move right here. You think come to pass that you're advocating for Justin Fields because you had nothing to say about Russell Wilson. Nothing. So that right there tells me that Justin Fields is in Pittsburgh. That's what that tells me. And all things considering, I think that Russell will be going to Vegas. With in that there parks and recreations facility situation down there in Vegas. Excuse me. Uh, and that's a plausible question right there. Would I take Cam Ward over Shador? Um, no, I wouldn't, and here's why. And it goes to something that was said. Um, I started on yesterday. Here's the thing that benefits Shadur Sanders being Deion Sanders' son. Been in the spotlight. He's been in the spotlight. Okay. He's been up under that hot, shining, bright light. Okay, you know, say the same thing. The same thing about Shadur. Um, they were saying about Travis at Jackson State. He ain't doing. He ain't putting up his numbers against D1 power school, D1 school. He ain't put. They get to Colorado, the numbers don't change. He's still putting up 350, 400 yards. You know, against the bigger school. Literally, you know what I'm saying? It didn't change. So the same applies to Shadur right here. Um, Again, being prime son, um, always being in the limelight, always being in the spotlight, it always has always dealt with the scrutiny, the press, the paparazzi like press, all of that. He's dealt with that. He's been dealing with that. So I mean, with him, there's no pressure. All he got to do is do what he's been doing. Go out there and play. You know. Um, and, and then again, Shadur is not a gimmick. And what I mean by that, is that everybody's so in love with the quarterbacks that run like you run with the quarterback on Madden. Well, just like I've been saying about Penny, Shadur Sanders is a quarterback who has the ability to run, but he's a quarterback with exudable pocket presence. He's poised. You know what I'm saying? He's not he's not about with him. Yeah, he's trying to make the play downfield with his arm, with his eyes. You know what I'm saying? Going through his progression. He ain't out here trying to do some AAU stuff. But I digress. You know. Uh, says, and what about that? Take Wester kid. I could use him. Yeah. Well, again, our for the Falcons and our personnel situation. First of all, let's just make it clear. I Our only problem right now as far as personnel go is situating spots um to clear money, right? We had a lot of youngins that did not get a lot of burn last season, um, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Uh, I think, honestly, I think that Dahlman is going to be our first move. As far as the draft goes, I think we'll come onto the board defensively first, but I think in the first three picks, one of those first three picks are going to be a receiver. It's going to be a receiver. Um, with MP9, what I'm saying, campaigning for Kyle Pitts, it'd be hard pressed for me to say that we would we would deal him. Um, but yeah, we have weapons on this offense already, but you also have to understand um, you, you want your quarterback to be comfortable. Now, I myself think that his guy is already on the team. Um, that's just it's just my thought, my opinion. But I mean, all things considering, I think that other than a right or left tackle or a Swiss Army knife like offensive lineman that can play all positions, which I think will probably be the move when we go and pick a lineman. Uh, other than that, I think our first offensive pick is going to be a receiver. I'm just saying, don't be surprised um, from that standpoint. Um, 'Cause I think that this is going to be a linebacker heavy draft for the Dirty Birds. 'Cause I think, with the exception of maybe two people, I think that the linebacker room is about to get revamped. Um, wouldn't be too surprised on that um, for us. Uh, but as far as weapons go, as far as offense, I don't outside of shoring up the offensive line. It'd be hard pressed for me to say that we're going to go out here and do something drastic to add to the offense because I don't think that it's needed. I don't think I don't think it's needed. I think we're set primarily in the offense. I think shoring up the offensive line, keeping Dahlman, and drafting, like I said, a utility guy that can play all positions. You know what I'm saying? To be backup successor to Jake um, for this season. Um, you know, something to that effect. Uh, but hey, you're you're watching the language that is coming out when if you're watching the info. Um, it's not it shouldn't give you a headache unless you're thinking about Raheem Morris. Then yeah, you're gonna have a headache. But um, that's a whole nother topic for another time. Uh, but from a personnel perspective, from you know pieces of the puzzle, what I'm saying, type of perception. Uh, yeah, I think that the linebacker room is going to get revamped. I think they're going to go after a big body up front late. Uh, but again, like I said, I don't think we use the 15 pick for ourselves. I think we trade back. We trade back, pick up, what I'm saying, 2, 3 picks here, here, there, and then we'll be able to add sufficiently like we've done. Um, and now to get on to something too, to all you uh general manager critics, I see a lot of people that keep saying that we ain't did this, what I'm saying, in the offseason. We ain't did that in the offseason. We ain't gone after, you know, for it not be no talent on this team. It's funny that when games happen, things don't go right, and the first thing out of y'all mouths is it's too much talent on the team for us to be. Wait a minute now, but y'all said we ain't address this, or we ain't pick this guy, or we ain't, but then, we lose a game or win a close game, and It's too much talent on that team to be fine. So I'm trying to understand the merry-go-round of this. You know, um, for those out here advocating for there to be a hot seat at Junior, for those that keep saying that we ain't addressed this, and we ain't addressed. Well, I think y'all need to put the microscope and the bright light on your coach. All that talent that we picked on last offseason, and for the most part, we saw none of it on the field. Now, yeah, we had, some got hurt early in the year. Trice, you know, Helen. Um, we didn't Harrison. We didn't see. You know what I'm saying? After his run in the last 6 games, you know, we didn't see him. Yeah, even though Aurora got nicked up, but we didn't see him. And some other guys, you know what I'm saying? Bertrand got shipped to the back of the locker room. I'm just saying, y'all, this talent on this team not being used, but then y'all quick to holler about we didn't address. Oh yeah, it got addressed. The staff just didn't use. Okay, and then there's the oh well, this guy over here, this team is doing this. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with the Dirty Bird. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're so much in love with the Philadelphia Dogs Eagles, move to Philly. You can get your Georgia Bulldog feel. I'm really tired of hearing it. I'm really tired of hearing it. Yeah, y'all. There's been immense amounts of talent to come out of Georgia. Yes, true, no denying that. Okay, but when you are a GM, scout, you know, scout team rep, um, and you're looking for things to fit a certain particular scheme, pick up a guy that your coach wants, the type of guy or whatnot. That's what they're going with, and that may not necessarily be somebody that's coming out of Georgia. Okay, yeah, they did what they did up there in Philadelphia. More power to them. Much love, you know what I'm saying? Congratulations. But what what Philly does and how they operate, that's what Philly does and how they operate. That's that ownership. That's that front office. And but y'all want things a certain way, but y'all don't have the patience of the process. Y'all think Detroit, you know what I'm saying, got to where they got, you know what I'm saying, overnight? No, that was a 5-year process there, my guy. You know what I'm saying? You think Buffalo got to where they got to overnight when people were not paying attention, you know what I'm saying, before they draft, you know, leading up to them drafting, you know what I'm saying, Josh Allen. And even after, what did they do? They put their defense together over there. They built their offensive line. You know, the the time that it put in a scheme, and get
You're
yeah, you know what I'm saying, in place. That's not a 1-year thing. That's not a 2-year thing. It takes time to build a team. This fan base doesn't have the tutorial common sense to allow the process to be what supposed to be. What's going on, Mucho?
what's going on, OG?
Much, not much. Having a little conversation about uh, our vetting process and what we can do, what we will do, and what our situation is. Um, going forward, just a little bit of conversation. They were talking about Travis Hunter, and I saw Warren Sapp had, some co-signing, for that young man. Uh, Talking about, the Falcons and,
With
he
the Falcons trying to sell the team to get him.
well, I got asked a question about moving up to draft Travis Hunter, but I'm,
Oh
it,
yeah, it sounds like selling the team to get him.
but yeah, you would think that. I mean, given that the move from 15 to the top five, that
Ooh,
yeah, that's we talking two, three first rounders, second rounders, third, and then some, you know.
he
Uh,
ain't, he ain't gonna make it past four.
it-
Yeah, long three. Yeah, you got to give up a lot for that guy,
I'm
and
need I'm,
I
I'm
don't think
need
he's
y'all
gonna
to
make it to
stop
five.
throwing shade on Shiloh. Okay, Shiloh is a damn good defensive player.
I can see us
He
getting
is.
him.
You know what I'm
To be
saying?
honest,
Y'all need to stop throwing shade on that young man. Talking about what you get. Yeah, we don't need it. Okay, all right.
I could
Now, you
absolutely
you you
see us
you don't
getting
want
him.
you don't want something that has prime blood in him. You know what I'm saying? A sufficient. If you want to talk about a hitter, Shiloh is a hitter. You know what I'm saying? But all this, y'all out here, dismissing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he broke his forearm on the tackle. Yeah, he did. Okay, and again, that whole thing about I understand it. Y'all, if you show me a defensive back that ain't never got burnt or beat on the pass, I give y'all the money in the U.S. Mint Bank. Y'all need to stop this, man. Stop.
The best of them done got burnt.
Yes, shit. It seen Prime get burnt. It saw Champ Bailey get burnt. It saw Charles Woodson get burnt. Charles Harris get burnt. Bobby Taylor. The list goes on. Darryl Green. You know, Aaron Glenn. I've seen the best of them. Michael
The
Haynes.
question comes, how consistently are you getting burnt? That becomes the question.
Well, when you look up Travis Hunter's numbers on yards given up, uh, not so much. Yeah, they happen. They've happened, but you know, him out
Hmm.
here giving up digs and giving up digs numbers at cornerback, he ain't doing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He not here giving up 1,500 yards of pass defense. No, Travis ain't doing that. He's a ball hawk on the highest level. And Shiloh got a lot of that ball hawk in him too. But I get it. Like I said earlier, I get a lot of reason why these three young men, Shador, Shiloh Sanders, Travis Hunter, getting shade, getting dirt because of who their coach is. They don't know what Dion ever did to y'all in your lifetime. He stole your girl. You didn't deserve her in the first place. You know what I'm saying? If he kicked your dog, it shouldn't have been a mutt. Whatever your reason
You was good
is
against that.
that you're harboring animosity for Deion Sanders over these kids, get over it. Go lay on a couch, talk to somebody about it. Okay? You know what I'm saying? But you people, and this is including every other coach in NCAA, y'all need to grow up, man. All right. In this game, you have to have some thick skin. Yeah. Shit talking is a part of the game. Being brash, making a play and letting somebody know about it, it's part of the game. You don't want nobody celebrating on you. You don't want nobody high stepping on you. You don't want nobody being prime on you. Stop them. Stop them. Beat them. What up, Kel? What's going on with you? You know what I'm saying? It is crazy how you know you formulate an opinion based on hate. Like, he thinks he all that. Okay, when he's out here in prime out here cutting off whole halves of field for the entirety of his career, and yeah, he could tell you about it. You don't want to hear about it, score on him. Score on him. It's just that simple. But you didn't. It didn't happen like that. If you mad because this man had a Hall of Fame career and quite possibly could be the greatest football player of all time, if that's your reason for hating these kids, you got a maturity problem. That's a you problem. Y'all talked all this nose when they was at Jackson State. You said Shadur wouldn't be able to do this up against power NCAA team. You said Travis Hunter wasn't going to be able to do this against power NCAA team. They went
He
to
said it was
Colorado
too small.
and did nothing change. Shadur was still throwing for 300 and 400 yards, 3, 4 touchdowns. Travis Hunter was still out here making two or three picks a game, 4 or 5 pass deflects, and then on the other side of the ball, making outstanding catches as a receiver.
He's entering the draft as a cornerback, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And even going back to that, okay, Travis Hunter is a generational NFL athlete because you can't bottleneck him into these two positions because he does them both so well.
Hmm.
The longer he plays in a game, the better he gets. He could catch an 80-yard bomb on one end and on the other end, pick off a slant and take it to the house for 76 yards. And y'all really want to sit around here and talk about, well, he ain't going to be able to do that at the next level. Why not? Prime did it. Charles Woodson did it. Champ Bailey did it. Pac-Man did it. Why not?
So I don't get it. What's the hate for?
Because that's
I
prime
mean,
for you hate by association.
but he a black. These are black men doing it.
Hmm.
I thought that's.
You you
I
you
thought
would
that's
think
the.
you would think that what I'm saying that would trump all, but you know, in this culture, in this ethnic environment, as it were, we don't know how to congratulate. We don't know how to be down for one another. You see somebody doing good, the first thing you want to do is figure out a way to bring them down. Yeah,
Dang, that it's so weird. But they praise other people for not doing a doggone thing. And these folks have entered the lead and haven't done a doggone thing. I mean, I don't get it.
uh, I'm gonna quote my illustrious tactician. It ain't our job to understand stupid.
Stupid.
You know,
Mm.
Six Man says Shiloh's biggest issue right now is the injuries and the coverage issue. Shadur and Travis will be fine. Yeah, I think Shiloh's issue really more so the injuries than anything. He's a big hitter. Uh, he's good at sticking his nose into the run game, which I think he will excel at the next level. Um, think, and you're right, please, man. You know, the Sanders gang will be all right. They're going to be fine as a whole. They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine.
Do you think Shiloh is better than Richie Grant?
Mm.
If we could get better prediction, I could see us getting the Shiloh, and just for depth, see what he can do or whatnot. He may he may surprise us at the next level. They may know where they want to use him at and stuff like that.
Shiloh is a utility defensive back because he could play. He could play the corner and safety as well. You know,
Hmm.
he has some good things on his resume. He does. Um, his role may be a little bit tougher, but I think at the end of the day, he's gonna make it onto that road and have his journey just like Shadur and Travis will.
Hmm.
You know, um, let's see. Spoke about Travis, Warren Sapp, spoke about Justin Fields and Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. Uh, again, I
Oh,
think
Russell
Russell.
Wilson's on the Raiders.
Yeah, I was just going to say that again. I think Russell Wilson is going to be in Las Vegas. Um, as I observed Arthur Smith, and writing his
You believing in QB one?
writing love letter to Justin Fields in the press conference the other day. And I'm like, that says what it had to say right there. He said nothing about Russell Wilson, but he had this big ass love letter to
Mm.
Fields. So I think Fields is in Pittsburgh, and Russell Wilson is out and headed to Vegas. Let's see, I was surprised Travis Hunter went in as a defense. I really wasn't, but again, there is no label in the draft listing of you know NFL athlete. So
I think he did that on purpose. If he would have went as a wide receiver, probably would have got picked. No, number one. Still might. He still might. But yeah.
I don't. He's a by the book good receiver. He is. Is he a better receiver than the top three that are coming out in this class? I can't say. Deliberately, I can't say, but what I'm saying, because those three guys, you know, they they're gonna be. I think they're gonna get it done in the league. Um, but would I say he's the top one of the top five receivers coming out in this draft? I would say that yes, yeah, I would say that. Um,
Mhm.
like I was on the show with Coach I think last weekend, and we was having a discussion about DBs, and some people was talking about Will Johnson and the other two guys that they consider to be better than Travis. I understand and recognize because those guys have good resumes, coming out. It's just I the thing that Travis has done these past 4 years. Just being he's a generational athlete. He's a generational athlete. He give you 45, 50 plays on defense and give you, what I'm saying, 55 to 60 plays on offense and produce in both. You know what I'm saying? He could give you 8 catches, 170 yards to a touchdown, and then turn around and give you 15 tackles, 3 pass defense, and a pick. Oh, and force a fumble in the clutch moment.
Yep. And pick six too.
Yes, give you. Matter of fact, yeah, he did. Matter of fact, that in that game, he did give a pick six. He forced a game-winning fumble, and he also cut. He caught I think it was an 81-yard bomb in that game. I how it's hard to deny that. It's hard to deny those type of plays, you know. But I get for the most part where most people come from. It's just that, like I said from the beginning, when we saw Prime do it, we saw Charles Woodson, you know, we we saw Champ Bailey do it, it was a few others, what I'm saying. But this young man has done it consistently at a high level. We're talking about the best player in the country, just keeping it a buck.
Hmm.
Best player in the country. The numbers that he put up as a receiver, the numbers that he put up as a corner, total together, you get that's a body of work that it, you can't deny it. People was all in their feelings because Gentry didn't get behind him. Okay, yeah, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. And then if people want to stand and be trying to stand up, well, look, I seen him get beat on the paper. Bro, if you go down through the history of defensive back, and you name one, including the great Deion Sanders, that never got beat on the pass, I empty the U.S. Mint Bank and give it to you. And I blow your cash app up. And people, I understand it.
Hmm.
I mean, every, including the great ones, have gotten beat.
Yeah.
Including the great ones, from Michael Haynes to Dion to Darryl Green, what I'm saying? All of them. You want to be out here, well, he got beat by this guy in this game, and he got on that. Yeah, bro, it happens. And that's what you standing on to throw shade on this young man, then you just need to get off the board, my guy. You need to get out of the conversation. I mean, y'all want to place these tabs on people, but then when the question is asked, okay, well, we've seen other high profile defensive backs get beat. What happened right there? Oh, well, no. This is what you said about Travis Hunter because he got beat on the play.
Hmm.
You know, just people got to once again get out your feelings. That's what a lot of people got to do. Get out your feelings. When you take your emotions out of it, you take your disdain and your hate for Prime, Deion Sanders out of it, and you look at this man's video documented evidence for them 1 or 2 or 3 plays where he got beat on. He has nine to 15 other plays where he defended, got the pick, or caused a fumble. Your list of negatives are very well is not even close out are being outweighed by his body of work of producing. I'm just saying, man, we got to do better. If you're not gonna really be out here and do the homework, do the research, look at the film, you know what I'm saying? And your best retort is talk about the 1, 2, or 3 plays maybe that he got beat on out of these 4 years. Y'all said he couldn't defend Power One receivers when he was at Jackson State. They get to Colorado. Okay, all right. Video document evidence. Same thing with Shador. that he couldn't make those plays against, you know what I'm saying, D1 schools in the NCAA. Get to Colorado, he's still putting up 350 to 400 yards, passing two, three, four touchdowns a game with an average
I
of
think they
9.7 yards a play.
I think they having an issue with Shiloh too, because I don't know. Some people think he coming out cocky, I guess, arrogant or something,
Man,
flashy.
that's gonna always be in the conversation simply because it's Deion Sanders. Real good. He gonna be cocky just like his dad. Well, his daddy wasn't cocky. His daddy was just confident. Matter of fact,
Uh,
let me help y'all with a quote from Prime. Don't let these young men's confidence hurt your influence your insecurity. Don't let their confidence influence your insecurity to throw shade, especially if you ain't played the game, especially if if you ain't never suited up, put a helmet on, or thrown or played defense. You know what I mean?
AOG,
Yep,
AOG,
yep.
you want to bring 6MK on? So let's hear what he got to say. I think you want to speak on it.
Crazy. Hold on for a sec. Hold on for a sec. Hold on for a sec. Kev, if you're listening, I just dropped the link in your inbox.
But man, I would love to have either one of these guys, man. It just look a bit too far fetched. We can't afford it. It's a lot to give up.
Yeah,
Okay. We just gotta drive right.
yeah, that is true. That is true.
So we already have a first round QB. So who we have pretty high hopes for. That's all it is a hope right now. And the same with the Center Boys. It's a hope. Hope to see them succeed. We don't know what they're going to be in the NFL, but from what they've shown us in college, we hoping to see the same similar things that they've
Mhm.
been doing.
Yep. And
We will see.
we got K Styles in the building. Put
What
the
up,
knowledge
K
out there that
Style?
you want to hand these folks, man.
Man, what's happening? What's happening, y'all, man? Look. I know I kind of came. I kind of came in right around when y'all was talking about the Sanders boys and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Man, I'm gonna say it like this. And you said something about they gonna be looking at the confidence and kind of looking at it as a red flag.
Yep.
Damn that! I want my guys to say that I'm the best.
Yep.
They may not be the best, but I say they want to be the best.
Yep.
That boy Travis is the truth. Like you said, that is Champ Bailey, Charles Wilson personified.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Shador Sanders will be all right.
Yes.
Like you said, like you said, his biggest thing right now with Shador Sanders is some. Like you said, once he starts, like you said, stop trying to do too much, and trying to extend the plays too long. He'll be all right. But that just comes with the experience. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, with with this draft monotony that's unfolding right now. You know, like I said, I saw Warren Sapp, in a little interview and say what he said. He co-signed him. Travis Hunter, and he was the fourth person that I've seen to actually, say, well, yes, I would do it. I think he can do it, as opposed to a lot of those who just out of hate for crime, talking about where there's no way he could do it in the pro. Look, y'all said the same thing when they was at Jackson State. They get to Colorado. Where you gonna move the goalpost to now?
Man, let me say it like this. Like you said, at the end of the day, it's all just gonna be depending on these players.
Yep.
These the very same people that said that Jimmy Garoppolo was going, not Jimmy Garoppolo, but Jimmy Clausen was going to be a Hall of Famer. These the very same guys. These the very same guys that floated around said that Sam Bradford was going to be could be a possible Hall of Famer. But we don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But the thing that you want these players to come into the league with is the confidence that they are the best.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. I look. I rather have a guy that thinks he's the shit that still got a lot of work to do than a guy that is unsure of himself.
Yeah, facts, facts. So that is a fact. If a player is confident in his ability and practices that way and plays that way, I want that guy in my locker room. You got a kid like Travis Hunter who eats, sleeps, drinks, breathes football. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It just you can't buy that kind of dedication, man. You can't. You can't buy that kind of dedication. The boy works out 5 times a day, right? And in between those 5 times, he's doing film study on you know, uh, from the receiver perspective and the defensive back perspective. The boy got 3 computers set up in his room to do film study. I'm just saying, you can't buy that kind of dedication and be talking about what he won't be able to do in the pros. I think a lot of y'all feeling gonna be hurt. A lot of y'all feeling gonna be hurt. You know what I'm saying? And once again, say it one more time. When we tell you to get out your feelings in a discussion, just telling you to use your brain instead of using your thong strap. Because a lot of you don't know how to, have a debate and use your brain. You get in your feelings and you're mad and your vocabulary gets short. And you do your homework, you don't need that. You won't have all those problems. Just saying. Just saying. You know, like the conversation of the Atlanta Falcons have have not addressed their issues in previous years. Yeah, we have. Is it the staff ain't used what was needed to be used? We drafted 5 defensive guys last year. Now, minus Trice, who got hurt in preseason. What was the reason why we didn't see Zach Harrison last year? What was the reason why we didn't see Bertrand last year, this past season? What was the reason why all this, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all like to end y'all sentences or begin your sentences about it being too much talent on this team when things don't go right. So the
But
question
here,
now becomes is, okay, well, why didn't we see, this person, these number of players that we got here who obviously are talented, why didn't we see them?
but here's the
Jordan
here,
List,
here, here
D
but
Malone.
but yeah, but here's the contradiction to that statement right there. If we got too much talent and not to be seen on the team, the blame is not on the GM. The
Nope.
blame is on the coaches.
exactly.
But the problem is you don't want to blame the coaches because the coaches is what you love the coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So the easiest target is to blame the GM.
Yep. That is the easiest, but it's the most short sighted way as well. I mean, come on now. Y'all out here wanting Terry's seat to be warm. It, it wasn't Terry's call to bring Kirk Cousins. That
Nope.
call was made. That call was made while Raheem was on the plane. That was a Raheem call. But yet y'all keep he's trying. And a lot of y'all got to need to learn how to read. You know what I'm saying? The fine print on contracts. So y'all need to read the contractual language. A lot of y'all don't know how to read contractual language. To understand your NFL business and money line. You know, y'all just see a number and run with it. We're gonna have $100 million cap. Man, just stop.
That'd
Just
be one.
Once.
That's one hell of an off season where you go from 4 million in the red to 100 million in the red. It don't work
right,
like that.
right.
This ain't this ain't the Deshaun Watson contract, and so y'all
Oh
need to hold
Lord,
your damn horses.
Mm.
mm.
Oh,
And you want to talk about needing a quarterback? Cleveland needs several quarterbacks. They need several quarterbacks. You know,
so you think we might end up keeping Kirk for another year?
really, honestly, it just when the emotional swelling goes down and you look back at the situation, like I said earlier in the beginning, a lot of these other teams out here saw what happened here during the season and most notably after the season. Just saying, you take a look back, you take a step back, and he pulled that, he did that on them. We really, as bad as we need a quarterback, do we really want that over here? He might stab us in the neck too.
Yeah.
Saying we may be in a situation where we have to hold on to Kurt for another year. You know,
I mean,
unless we just gonna take the bite on and cut him. But I'm hard pressed to see if somebody actually gonna want to take him in the trade, bro.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it like this, and that's a good question I asked right there, Mucho. Kirk Cousins. The only way that I see Kirk Cousins is gone from here, and I thought it was very interesting. If y'all paid attention to the storyline and stuff like that, they said Terry Fontenot was not at the Senior Bowl this year, which is
Mm.
interesting because he's always at the damn Senior Bowl. That's where most of his draft picks came from, the Senior Bowl.
I mean, well, he's 4 years in, and I'm quite sure the scouting department he's upgraded it to his highest level. So I
Hmm.
I can kind of understand
Yeah,
him not being there this year. You know,
right,
scout department is up on level doing things, but
right.
who knows? There may
But
be
like,
a little bit something different.
yeah, like I said, cause what I'm thinking, and this is my guess on this, is they're shipping deals for Kirk Cousins right now. This is
Hmm.
just my opinion on it. Like I said, if you hear of any deal that may happen, it's going to be of the remnants of what the Matt Ryan deal was. They may trade Kirk Cousins, but it's not going to be for a high pick like everybody think it's going to be.
Of
Because
course
the
not.
thing about it is, you're going to be wanting to look for somebody that's going to take the bait and yet take on responsibilities of his guarantees.
So what
Yeah,
you thinking, like fifth or sixth?
fifth or
maybe a
sixth,
six,
and take on
fifth or
about
six.
30
That'd be right.
take on about
Right.
30 million of that money that's left.
Mm-hmm. They'll take it, like you said, looking for somebody to take that 15 to 30 million that's left. Like you said, get a late round pick. And the thing, because the thing about it is, if the worst case scenario as a Falcons fan, that if you see Kirk Cousins back in 2025 as a backup quarterback, it's not going, like you said, it's not going to be as bad of a proposition as people think, just for the simple fact that majority of all his guarantees is already paid up. He's
Yep.
got like 27 million worth of guarantees left. That's including the injury bonus for year three. So, like you said, that right there in itself would scream Kirk Cousins may still be here as the backup in 2025.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
But I think, but me thinking that you, like you said, you have the negative press that came behind it. They looking for offers right now.
Oh yeah.
They looking for all the offers right now.
They'll probably take the simplest and most easiest one just to get him off the books.
Hmm.
You know, at that point, I think that that's where that is. Um, cause from what I'm understanding, he, uh, low key, they ain't allowed that man to come back on the facility.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
That I've been digging around for that a little bit. He 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 has not been seen, and there is no indication of him being allowed to even come to Flowery Branch. So, I think that,
Oh,
that we're gonna that little book is gonna come to a swift end some kind of
so,
way.
right. So, Bujo, what's your personal thoughts on that, man?
Um, uh, I think like Kurt will. I think he should. I think he should be. He should be traded. But me knowing what I just don't think he will be traded because the deadline is what March 10th or something like that for the trade.
As far as the trade deadline, nah, in the off season, nah, I don't. There's really no trade. Like, I think
Oh,
that's where the negotiations start. Will be able to begin.
I think what
that's when
Mucho is
the
thinking about is that deadline for that roster bonus for Kurt.
Yeah, the roster. Yeah, the roster bonus. I think will be on. I think it's either between the 10th or the 17th. But my thing is, I got to look more into it because I don't know if it because from what I remember was it was a roster bonus that was due in the third year. Well, like I said, we do some more research on it, like you said. But
yeah,
I don't
but
think
it's kind of
I don't.
hard to say. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. No, you good. Go ahead.
I say it's kind of hard to say whether to I mean if we don't find anyone to keep him for another year because I don't know, we don't know his mindset as being the backup. Well, we kind of do, being how he acted out on this, but I mean, we're gonna have to. What is he gonna be third? Is he gonna be? If something was to happen, is he gonna come in and play his heart out? Is he gonna actually give us something, or do we have to bring in another quarterback and make Kurt the third string? I don't know,
I
but
don't think they could afford for Kurt to be the third string. But for what I'm thinking is the Falcons actually have a trade advantage with the Kirk Cousins right now
Yeah.
for the simple fact that when he lost his job, he was bringing up. June bug along with him. So for a lot of those
Mm-hmm.
that really don't pay attention to a lot of stuff, like teams kind of look at that, especially teams that are looking for like young quarterbacks. They look for veterans that are willing to teach the young guy. So that is a trade advantage right there that we're not really thinking about right now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right. You know, yeah, it's just that stunt he pulled on Goodman in football kind of leaves an untrustable taste in my mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right there. I mean, he could have been putting on airs just in front of the cameras in and outside of the facility. Playing the good little soul.
Could be.
You know, uh,
We really don't know. But if I'm guessing on what Terry Fontenot is doing is he's fishing for some deals right now. Because the thing about it is you don't want that type of distraction on this team for 2025.
you don't. You just don't. That situation would lead to you know um, locker room division. We don't need that extra. We don't need that in there.
Hell
I
no.
think if we don't get rid of Kirk by the like before the draft, I think the best thing is would be force to trade trade back.
I think
Actually,
trading
that's not that's
to get
actually not a bad idea. Because the further back you trade, the less expensive your draft class becomes. I think at
Mm-hmm.
15 right now, I think they would need about 9 million to sign a draft class. So if you mess around and trade back just like to the end of the first round, I think that draft value goes from like 8 million to like 6.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So it just like you said, at the end of the day, with all this shit going on in the all season, everything's just gonna be dictated by what the hell they're gonna do with Kirk Cousins.
Yep. Kirk Cousins and Drew Dalman.
I think they'll bring back Judon. I think that if he wants to come back on a lesser
He said
deal,
Judah
on a
or
lesser.
did you say Dog?
I said Dalman, but yeah, I think
No, Dahlman, yeah. But like I said, I think with Dahlman, like I said, everything is going to be dictated about what they do with Kirk Cousins. At the end of the day, whether it be Judon, Drew Dahlman, rather if they want to go ahead and give Drake London his extensions, that everything is going to be on Kirk Cousins right now. And I think this is where a lot of the Falcon fans and like what a lot of us are mad about is that our whole team down the road is dictated on one player,
right.
which is Kirk Cousins.
Mm, mm-mm.
Kirk Cousins is going to dictate how this team is going to be in 2025 and 2026.
And I think he knows it too.
That's a lot of power. That's a lot of power to have for somebody that felt slighted, that felt a lot of pressure. That's a lot of power for somebody to have.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that y'all had your fill on good info for this morning's version of Mad Money with the OG to start the week with the Unholy Alliance as normal. Uh, Try to get you off on a good note with the info and thoughts and how the time is going by in the sports world. Uh, Case style, you can give folks a program directory table content for the rest of the day.
All right, so like you said, man, we got the originators coming up on later on this afternoon. Still trying to figure out what the hell to talk about. Maybe, like you said, maybe it'll be a part two of this discussion that you had, man. And That's about all I got. Like you said, man, definitely shout out to the OG, shout out to Mucho, let me get on. You know, if you see me on these morning shows like this, 9 times 10 is an off day. So you know,
Right, right, right.
so, but like you said, man, hey, I appreciate I appreciate Sam, I appreciate Bucho, I appreciate everybody within the Unholy Alliance and the AFN. As always, man, it's a family, a dysfunctional family, but it's a family nonetheless.
It's a dysfunctional, functional family.
Yes, yes, sir. That's all I got,
Sure.
man.
Hey,
One a minute.
well, all right. Well, this is your day is what I'm saying, getting jumped off by Mad Monday with the OG. And this is a be your turning start. Had to get off of here because my sister. I'm trying to see if something going on with mom. My sister called me this time of morning. I don't know what's going on. Um, but yeah, you got to keep it A. You got to keep it dirty. You get most noble. You got to keep it real with yourself. Let your next choice be your best choice, man. For the Unholy Alliance, 6 man and Mucho. We out.
We out.